Last week, I interviewed Lisa from Sweet and Sassy Treasures, and you guys may know Lisa from her lives and her workshops that she hosts, where she showcases her creativity with some absolutely amazing projects. If you haven't listened to that one yet, you guys head on over and take a listen to last week's episode. Now, in this week's episode, I'm going to be talking about hosting my second annual vintage creative retreat. Actually, vintage soul creative retreat. If you didn't attend last year, well, you are definitely going to want to grab a ticket this year. And let's dive into all the details of this year's creative retreat.
Welcome to the Rescued and Upcycled podcast with weekly inspiration, tips on trying new techniques, and overall real talk about owning your own DIY business. Now here's your host, Sonnet Ullenbrook.
Welcome back to Rescued and Upcycled. I'm your host, Sonnet Ullenbrook. I want to thank you guys all for joining me today on my podcast. If you guys are new here, I love to interview other creatives or small business owners and really talking all things small business. Now, this year, I have also been incorporating some design and decor topics into the podcast. So definitely be watching for those, sprinkled in throughout the episodes. I hope that I have been inspiring you along with my guest hosts. And I loved, like I said, having those guys on every other week. Now, this week, we are going to be discussing the second annual Vintage Soul Creative Retreat. If you guys remember from last year, that was my initial kickoff to the creative retreat. And if you haven't heard about it, let me give you some details. It is a 3-day retreat, and it's going to be filled with a ton of inspirational workshops, creative bonding, and the workshops are hands-on, you guys. So you are going to not only, be inspired by the creative that is hosting that specific workshop, you are going to be doing hands-on. So we're going to inspire you by teaching you different how-tos and different techniques. You'll be surrounded by like-minded creatives where you'll build new friendships and just walk away, like I said, feeling completely inspired. And just from the feedback that I received from last year, that is exactly how each and every one walked away. Now, I am bringing in some of my best friends in the creative world, and I just can't wait for you to meet them and learn from them. And I want you to walk away feeling more empowered to tackle projects using new techniques that you may have been intimidated by in the past. This is also a time to do a bit of soul searching to find your inner creative. And by the end of the retreat, I'm hoping with the help of all of us that you will have found your creative soul. So, it is a 3-day event. Some things have changed from last year for the better. I definitely will say for the better. So I'm going to talk about those things that are changing. And then we're going to dive into why you guys want to attend this. So the dates for this year's retreat are October 2nd to the 3rd. It is a 3-day event, very similar to last year. Last year, I gave options of a 2-day, 3-day. Everybody did. I would say everybody except 2 people did the 3-day event. So we nixed the 2-day option and we're just going all in with the 3-day event. You guys, it was so good last year. I just love how every time I think about last year's retreat, I get this warm, fuzzy feeling inside. I was able to meet so many of you and really inspire you. And just hearing the feedback from those that attended last year, it just makes me feel so good. So I'll give you a little backstory about how the vision of the retreat actually started. If you guys have been following me for a bit, you'll know that I attended Cranberry Fest in October of every single year. And I have been doing this for ages, you guys. I loved it. I love setting up a booth. I loved everything about it. And October of 2023 was a bit rough. It was very taxing on me and my parents. We made a good chunk of change from the event, so it wasn't that. It was just the whole experience. Things have changed at that Cranberry Fest, and don't get me wrong, I love it, and it just the whole thing really, I was in a different mindset by the end of that Cranberry Fest of 2023. And I had made a decision, and it was a hard decision, that I was not going to be going back to Cranberry Fest. And I wanted to host my own event. So that's how it all started. I wanted to host my own event. I did and I always did a wrap up of the event because I brought you along as I prep for it. Um, but the brainstorming really began at the event. And I mentioned it on a video that I wanted to do something either at my home or somewhere. And that's when my good friend Wendy reached out and asked about me hosting it at Antique Acres. So, initially it was just going to be like a market type event, but I wanted to bring a creative aspect to the event. And I was trying to figure out how to do both. And that's exactly what I did. So I had the creative retreat hosted on one portion of Antique Acres, and then I had the creative market on the market portion on the in the barn at my friend Wendy's. And it turned out amazing. So both events were very successful. It was just a lot for me to manage though, because just doing the market portion alone is a lot to tackle, but I was also doing a complete retreat. So when this time of year came around to me planning, I just had to make some decisions again, and I decided to nix the market portion and then just move forward with the creative retreat. I felt very fulfilled with the retreat portion. I got time to meet people that, have been following me for years or who have just discovered me. So the first thing we are doing is we are making changes to the venue. Since I'm not doing the market, I didn't need to rent a space such as like Antique Acres. So I'm excited to announce that it will be held at the historic bowling alley, which is really near like downtown Appleton, the heart of Appleton. The bowling alley was converted into what's called the 10th frame in Appleton. So my mom and dad actually knew the previous owners, so the owners that actually started it up, or it was a family in the area. And now another family purchased it and they renamed it the 10th frame. The cool thing about the place is that they actually took a portion of the vintage bowling alleys. They cut it in half. There's some bowling alleys still in there, but the other portion, they made this amazing space to house or host events like mine. And they took vintage barn board, galvanized, just like really vintage galvanized pieces. And it is an amazing space, you guys. I am so excited to host it here. The owners are extremely nice as well. And the best part of this, I know, um, is that last year, you guys, I catered all my own food. So my good friend Justina, she actually smoked all the pork butts and we had pulled pork. My husband and I, we handmade all of the chili, like everything that was catered last year was done by me and my family. And then I brought it all there. I set it up. I served it. So that taking that off my plate, you guys, is just going to be huge. It was just a huge undertaking that I was like, oh, it's going to be easy. Everything last year was going to be easy until I actually realized how many hours it took to make it, um, bring it there, prep it, prepare it, all that good stuff. And not that I didn't love every minute of it, I did, but I just think taking that piece off of my plate is going to be huge. So, one thing about the 10th frame is they do make all their own food there, and it is done by the owner's mom, and she is an amazing cook, and the food there is absolutely fabulous. So you're gonna love where it's being hosted, and you're gonna love the food, and it is going to free up so much time for me, that I can just mingle and enjoy the moment. And that is one of the, if you watched or listened to my podcast of the wrap up of last year, that was one of the things that was very just I realized very short into it that I was not able to live in the moment like all of you. And I really wanted that. I was trying to make sure everything was just perfect, which I'm going to do this year too. But I think just taking all of this off my plate and off my shoulders, I'm going to just be, really able to enjoy this whole event all the more with you guys. Um, I felt very like, I just felt very envious that everybody was just, as I stepped back from last year, I'm like, I didn't get to enjoy it as much as everyone else. And I know I'm hosting it, but I want to enjoy it. I want to mingle more with you guys. And then this portion is going to really help with that. So I think that it is going to run more smoothly and just, it's going to be a good change. And then due to the location change, we will not have the market like I kind of mentioned. I've nixed that piece of it. But don't worry, we're going to have a mini market, is a good way to put it, a mini market. I plan on creating a display in the back portion of the room so you can still shop and mingle. It's going to be still set up. It's going to be all my stuff. So I will not have other vendors. I know that it was amazing walking into that barn. I mean, Wendy's venue is absolutely stunning. But it is going to be a mini event. So you guys, it's not going to be as elaborate as last year, but we'll definitely get to get your shopping fix on. So I'll bring the goods, you guys. So that will be there, and then there's going to be more space for everybody to spread out a bit. So I'm really excited about that part of it. Um, and I loved the idea of hosting both a market and a retreat, like I said, but the whole thing was just a big undertaking for me. Even if I had a crew to help me, it just would have been just too much. So, the creative retreat is the focus of the year. And I just love bringing you guys all together, meeting you all, and getting to see you all walk away feeling completely inspired and having your your creative cup just overflowing in the end. And truly, you guys, this makes me so happy. And I just can't wait to bring you guys all together this year. So those are the two big changes, the location and that we're not doing the market. But these are just really simply minor changes of the year. So I want to talk about the creatives that I'm bringing here to inspire you. So let's talk about that. First and foremost, the event, like I talked about, is going to be a 3-day event, and there's going to be a lot of surprises for you guys. So I'm not going to spill the beans about everything, even though I love I love spilling the beans. Somebody asked me, on one of my last videos, is that a secret too? And I'm like, I really don't like secrets, you guys. I really don't. I love telling you all the details, but I want to keep some details a little bit of a surprise so that when you're there the day of the retreat, you feel that surprise. So, but I do want to tell you, for starters, everyone attending will receive a bonus maker's box that you're going to be using during the event. So my maker's box is going to be a year old coming June 1st. I cannot even believe that it's going to be 1 year old. We are going to do a celebration, you guys, for my 1 year anniversary of the maker's box. So first and foremost, I'm super excited about that. Um, and I just am excited that I had that vision of the Maker's Box and I was able to bring it to reality. All my subscribers have been loving it, and I think it's going to be a perfect way to kick off day one, which is a Thursday, for the meet and greet with the custom Maker's Box and an inspiring project. So that's how we're going to kick off the retreat on Thursday, October 2nd. Is we'll have a meet and greet. You'll get to meet all the creatives, and you'll be able to shop and mingle, and there'll be hors d'oeuvres. And then we're going to host our very first project. So that will be the first day. And then the next 2 days are going to be mixed with more time to mingle and create. So, last year I wanted to bring in more creatives with shorter windows to create. And I listened to all of you that attended. You wanted more time to create. It did feel very rushed during the creative periods because I only allotted an hour. So rather than just an hour for each presentation and project, we are going to extend it to an hour and a half each with a short break in between to regroup in between those sessions. And you'll be able to, while we're like resetting and regrouping, you'll be able to mingle, you'll be able to shop and do all that good stuff. I've been slowly announcing the creatives that I'll be having at the event. And this has been fun and exciting to do like more of like a trickle effect versus just, launching and just saying like, this is who we're having. So first and foremost, by popular demand, we are having back Connie from the Painted Photographer, you guys. Last year, she taught us how to paint. And this year, she's going to teach us something a little different. But since last year, you guys, a lot has changed with Connie. She left her daytime job to pursue her love of being a creative artist, launched her own rice paper line with stockists, you guys. So she actually has stockists who are selling her papers. And if you didn't know, she also creates a custom exclusive paper for my Maker's Box. So do you think it's going to be in that Maker's Box? Some paper from her, I'm pretty sure. Um, and I'm, so yes, she's definitely done all of that. And I am truly excited that I am one of her stockists that has all of her papers that she designs for her different launches. So you can find that all on my website. And she just did an extra bonus spring line of papers, and you guys, they are so good. So definitely head on over to my website if you are interested in any of those papers. And she has so much more in store this year, you guys, for her business. So I am going to be so excited to cheer her on as she just continues to grow her amazing business. But I'm also excited that she is at my event as well. So we've already sat down, like I kind of mentioned in the beginning, and we brainstormed ideas and have come up with an amazing project that I know you guys are all going to love. So after I announce all the creatives and who they are, I'm going to give little sneak peeks of the different projects you guys are going to be creating as well. So the second creative that I've announced is my good friend Tara from the Reclaimed Ranch. Tara and I met at Debbie Beard's paint inlay party. And immediately, honestly, you guys, we became the best of friends. We kind of joke around that we are two peas in a pod, but truly, we have developed the best friendship. And if you haven't heard, we now do our Monday night lives together. Grab your paintbrush. And we are going to continue to do that. And we are kind of figuring it out. But I've always brought guests on my lives on Monday. And I had mentioned to my mom, like, I love doing these lives with Tara. I just, wish that every week we could do it together. And my mom's like, why can't you? And I'm like, you're absolutely right. So we've been just having a ton of fun, you guys. So check that out every Monday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. We go live. So be watching for that every Monday. We jump into our stash, or what some people may refer to as our hoard of items, and we both grab an item and we upcycle it. I have got to get better at not doing such extensive projects, because some of my projects I haven't been finishing on my live because they either stuff has happening, and we won't discuss all of that, but you'll have to check out those lives. So Tara truly has a passion, though, for breathing new life into furniture, and she loves sharing her techniques, which she showcases over on her YouTube channel. So if you haven't yet, head on over there and give her or subscribe to her channel and give her some love. At the creative retreat, I will give you a little peek into what she's going to be doing. She is an amazing blender, you guys, and she is going to share a blending technique with all of you. So I kind of told everybody when I announced her, but have you guys ever had a piece of decoupage paper that just didn't fit on a project? Well, Tara is going to show you how to blend paint with the paper to make it look seamless. I mean, it's going to be an amazing technique, you guys. So I'm excited. I am going to grab whatever piece we're going to be blending on, and I'm going to be working with it too, because like I said, she's pretty darn amazing. So next week, I will be announcing the next creative that will be at the retreat. And I'm just excited to get the entire lineup out there. And then we're going to dive into some of the projects. And I'm going to be showcasing that. Last year, you guys, we had attendees from all over the US. I know, like, some people think, well, if I was in Wisconsin, I'd go. Well, if you're considering attending, you can fly. People fly all the time. It's a 3-day event. It is so much fun. Appleton has so much to offer too. So many other evening events as well. We can all mingle. So definitely don't think that if you're not in Wisconsin, you can't attend, because you can. Guess what? There is an Appleton airport, so you'll fly directly into the Appleton airport. There are hotels very close to the airport and to the event, or the location where I'm hosting the event. And there are Ubers, there's rental cars, we can carpool. There's so many options. So if you're thinking about attending and have any questions, definitely reach out. But honestly, you guys, it is doable. So last year we had, I'm trying to think of some of the locations, like South Dakota, California, Florida. We had Virginia, well, obviously all the Midwest, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, um, Minnesota. We had all the Midwest states covered, but believe me, there was like Georgia, Tennessee. I'm trying to think of like other one. They were all over, you guys. I was so just surprised that everybody came from such distances, but I was extremely excited to host the event here in Wisconsin, because you guys, in October, Wisconsin is beautiful. The leaves are changing. Things are just, it's the perfect weather. It's not too cold. It's not too warm. Octobers are the best time to be in Wisconsin. So I hope you guys consider attending the retreat. I'd love to meet you. But I really am so excited for the Vintage Soul Creative Retreat. And like I said, tickets are available. I am offering early bird pricing until May 15th. So grab your tickets right now. And you guys don't want to miss this event. You are going to be completely inspired. And like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, call me or email me. But October 2nd to the 4th will be the event, and the doors open on the 2nd at 1 p.m. So just to give you guys some ideas, it is all available on my website as well. And I will have it linked in the description below. So if you guys need to find out more details. It will all be out on my website. And then just be watching for the sneak peeks of the creatives I'll be having here as well. And I'm just so looking forward to meeting so many of you. So, all right, that is what today's podcast was about, the creative retreat. You guys, I just love that I've created this event and I am going to be doing it annually. So be watching for next year too. So now in next week's episode, it's going to be a surprise for both of us. I honestly don't know what I'm going to be talking about or who I'll be interviewing, but I know you're going to love the topic or the person I'm going to be interviewing. So just be watching for that next week. And if you guys are listening on any of the podcast platforms, do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you guys don't miss out on an episode over there. And if you're watching on YouTube, again, share my Rescued and Upcycled podcast so other people find out about it. Definitely hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up if you're loving my content. And in the comments, tell me what your favorite thing about the past retreat was, or if you're coming to the next retreat. I'd love to find out. You can also find me on all the other platforms such as Instagram, Facebook. I'm starting to dabble in TikTok. But yes, you'll find more content over there on the daily. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week, and you have a good one. Bye.